come take a tour of the farm with us. I got Hazel, our little dog, around here somewhere. But when you pull up from the driveway, you're gonna see a shop that houses all the tractors and all the things that we need to keep the farm pristine. So when we first bought the house, there was an Amish couple and their 6 kids that lived here. And they used the shop for, he was a welder. So the shop came with the farm and the house and 18 inches of concrete slab. So we didn't really have to do anything in there. The only thing we did is last year we ran electric from the end of the road all the way up to the farm, which was a quarter of a mile from the road. So it was pretty costly. And then over here is our well house, and we ran lines underneath there to over into the shop area. And then if you look over here, this is our barn. Right now we have 6 cows and we have 16 chickens. So I'll bring you over. This was a chicken coop that my husband made after I brought home 5 chickens from work. And if you take a look inside, you will be able to see the chickens in here. So right there is our 5 of our chickens. So they're a little shy. They were born at the end of July, so we're waiting for them to get a little bit bigger, and then we'll be able to let them free range. And then cut them back up. Okay. And then in here, this is where we store hay. And then this is where the cows are when, in the winter mainly. We try not to keep them in here during the summer. They have pasture where they can go, and they have a pond. So in here, my husband built a little brooder box thing for the chicks. So we hatched these guys at our house, or girls. We hatched them at our house and then brought them out here. So when they get bigger, they'll go into the bigger chicken coop with the others and then be free rangers too. So that's that. And this is, we just house chicken materials and things like that in here. Nothing too important. Again, we didn't have electricity until a year ago. So when we put that in, we were able to get some lights in here. So if you go around here, there's the house. Like I said, we didn't have electricity until last year, and we still only have like 2 outlets in the house. So over here is all the pasture. So it's 42 acres. As you can see, there's a bunch of our cows right now that are out here grazing, and my husband, he moves them around so that they're not all in one area. So here they are grazing right now. And then they have over on the other side of these trees right here is a pond that they have. There's water for them. So they're very well taken care of. These some of these cows are going to be going to the butcher in February, and we'll keep some meat and we'll sell the rest. And then again, there's grapes over here. This is where we keep, when we do meat chickens, we keep them in here because you don't want them running wild. So again, this is the other side of the house. And then, like I said, this was an Amish house. So no running water, no electricity, nothing like that. So more land. Over here is all hay fields. My husband and my father-in-law, they actually mow them. And right there is the outhouse. So if you know anything about an outhouse, that's where you do your business. So peeing and pooping happens out here when you're out at the farm. We only currently live 7 minutes from town, so we can go home if we need to. This is the back side of the house. So I know I'm kind of turning you guys all over. So this is the back side. So down here, and then the upstairs. So, and then if you go around this way, we have big plans for this. So this was a canning room right here. This whole area was a canning room that they used to, you know, do all their canning and storing of food. We're turning this into our living room, like a big family, like a comfy, cozy family room. This was my idea to do plants, but we did them before we had running water out here, so they didn't really take that well. Over on this side is kitchen windows, and then more to that family room, but I would really love to turn this into an outdoor like patio area with, you know, our grill and things like that, our smoker, and be able to do that. And then, like I said, this is all pastured land or hay. So you'll see that row of trees back here. There's another big hill behind that. And then we own 10 acres into the woods behind even that big hill. So we got some new farm equipment. So we were not farmers. We actually live in a village. My husband grew up working on a farm. He loved it, but knew that there was not a ton of money in it. So he went to college and he works as a data analyst as a full-time job. I am a teacher, so I know nothing about farming, know nothing about chickens or anything like that. During COVID, we were looking for some land so our kids could bring their friends and have stuff to play on during that time. And we ended up stumbling upon this, thinking we were just getting 42 acres of land and didn't realize we were getting a shop, a barn, and an entire house. So all of that came with what we thought was just the land. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm not moving out here. We are just going to do this, you know, for fun, for the land. We were going to turn it into like lacrosse fields so that we could host tournaments and things like that. And somehow, little by little, it turned into a farm. And I told him, you spend so much time out here. We hardly ever see you at the house because you're busy out here doing all this stuff. Why don't we sell our house in the village and turn this house into our dream house? So that is what we are getting started on, turning this place into our dream quote unquote English home. That's what the Amish call anybody else who's not Amish. They call us English. So we're going to turn it into an English home. So right now we are working on getting electricity fully into the house and plumbing. And so that's my thought, is to take you guys along with us to see the whole process of turning this Amish house into an English dream of ours. So we were actually at a pumpkin patch with our kids and some family members, and they were saying that we were almost Amish. And so that's how we came up with the idea to call this channel and our TikTok Almost Amish. So you can see in the distance, I don't know if you can see, my father-in-law and my husband picking up some hay bales. So right now they're baling hay. So that is how we started and where we plan on going. And I hope that you can come along for the ride with us.